Hello and welcome, Altis Live Forums. I'm presenting you with some map editing. Of course, I had to make sure that this tutorial isn't on the forums, so I thought I'll make a video about it and actually talk about it more extensive than other videos that I have seen. Because, there's some, keys and blobs and bits that you need to know about Zeus and also MCC Sandbox. So once you download it from Arma, you should have a RAR or a zip file or whatever it is. Please extract it to your Arma free location. So you just simply can do this and just copy the location of your Arma free, and of course press OK and extract it. Since I'm not extracting it because I already have it, I don't need to. So next step you would have to do is set your launch options, which is in your Steam. I presented with a guide. I'm not gonna show you that because I don't want anybody to know what I have in information wise. So let's begin. So once you've done all the guidelines that I told you to do on the actual post, and you're watching this video right now, open up your Arma free. Yeah, let's not open it. So open up your Arma free and you should see this. This is MCC 4. And now what you want to do is you go into your editor, click on Altis map and continue. Now bear with me for a second. This, you don't have to go for new host or for multiplayer. It's not necessary. You can do that later. And what you have to do is basically create a different mission file so it doesn't put some stuff that is downloadable content that you cannot really launch the multiplayer version. We're gonna talk about that later. So here we are in the map editor. Now what you have to do, you have to let's say pick a spot. Let's pick a spot on the map. So I'm gonna pick a spot right here where the police HQ in Cavalli is. It doesn't matter that it's empty. You'll paste this in later with all the positioning. So here we go. First, you need to go and place a unit and name it man or Jesus or whatever the fuck you want. Pardon my French, of course. And then what you need to do is you need to go on modules, and you can go to select your category, select Zeus, make sure you said that the owner is man. So whatever you named it, was it man, was it 420, was it blazing yellow swag, or whatever it was, name it that. Now once you've done that, place another module which is in MISC and which is the actual MCC sandbox access rights. So that's all you need to do is select that, press OK. And now this is bad. Now this is why it's connected. I don't know why it does it. I'm not that experienced, but what I do to remove this is I Control X and then Control V, and that's it. So it's all separate units now. So what I advise, if you're gonna edit here, place it a little bit somewhere else so it doesn't get in the way, because once you copy it, you don't want to copy these, because this will actually crash your multiplayer version and you won't be able to actually connect to the game. It's just gonna spam the server with that fetching Altis Live PBO from bank. So that means that you have some game logic, which is this Zeus or this a little bit, copied over to your multiplayer version. So you cannot do this. Even the unit, you have to leave this out. You only have to copy the edited area that you're gonna edit. So once you've done that, you basically do this. You go and synchronize. You can press F5 or whatever. You connect it to the man. So make sure it is connected, to the man. Just let's make sure. And then what you have to do is do Zeus and connect it to the man again. Now that's it. That's the simplest step I can tell you. Then you can, just save your user mission. So maybe you can edit it later with your mod enabled on your set launch option. So let's name it Altis Life RPG 3.5 or whatever, whatever floats your boat. So, and let's go on preview. Hate the waiting game. So you know, this is really good because I know more advanced members will understand this, because the 3D editor, and you have to have the 2D editor and 3D editor separate. You have to have BD files, you have to have compiled versions. I worked with it. It was a pain in the butthole, and this is such a much easier way, you know, and hopefully guys, I can help you out. So now when you spawned in here, what you want to do is you want to scroll your button and you go to mission generator. It's going to open with this window. It's going to show some FPS, whatever, blah blah blah. Log in. You log in. So I'm going to explain a little bit about this. Like, I wouldn't use any of these. I haven't tried it. You can try it, guys. You know, you can explore. I'm still exploring this myself. But a few options with Zeus. I don't know how to teleport, so I use this to teleport around the map. So you simply click teleport, and you click anywhere you want to go to the map, and you know, just do that. And next thing you need to do is just close it. So you know, you logged in. Make sure you're logged in and everything. Now what you need to do is you press Y, as in yours, if you get what I mean. So it's Y. You press Y. And if you can't understand, you know, how to enable Zeus, please Google it. It's very easy. You just press. I could show you. Actually, I could show you which button it is if I can. No, I actually can. So sorry. So you press Y. It opens up with this menu. Now, if you left click, you can move around your mouse while holding left click, and you know, you can look around. Scroll wheel is to zoom in, zoom out. If you hold shift, it's a little bit faster, you know, to zoom in and zoom out. And of course, if you right click, it will select object. Now, let's go about how to place objects and how to edit this and blah blah blah. You know, it's not gonna be that easy at first. You might make mistakes or whatever, but you know, of course, let's start with an empty. So this is the same as in the 2D editor. You cannot spawn any. You don't need any of these, I believe. You need this. You need to go into empty, and you need to go to other. So you got all your objects, all possible objects that I know of are there with the actual Zeus. So you don't need to implement anything at all. So let's say let's create some basic structures. So let's say I'm gonna place up an ammo box. You know, it's a small one, so you can zoom in. It's, you know, whatever. You can place a box of matches. You know, it's just something that we can work on. You can put a billboard. You know, you can edit this, move it around, and stuff like that. So let's add a shop. So we have a shop, you know, something like that. You know, have a house, whatever. You can move it about by, you know, right clicking and moving it. So, you know, we gotta pay attention to the these squares. As you see, I moved it up. Now, how to get these objects down, I'm gonna explain about controls. So if it's like that, usually it isn't, but if it is like that, hold Alt and right click and move it down until the squares get somewhere here. Yep. And if you wanna turn it around, hold Shift, right? And you can turn the object around, and you know, whatever, you know, whatever you want. So I like this setup, you know, and of course, so that's how you move it around. So Shift is to turn it around, you know, Shift is to turn it around, simply put. Of course, it's gonna be dodgy to firstly use it, and you know, but yeah, so you can of course press Alt and move it like that, move it up in the air, move it down. Of course, same with these items. If you have a table, you want to put some props, you just move it down and it will drop down on a table. Same with the matches. So that's pretty much it about adding. One more thing that I would like to show is if you want to move around quickly around the map, you hold Shift and you press W, and you press D, you press A, you press S, and you just move it around quickly. Of course, if you wanna like just move the camera around, you left click and hold it. So let's go here. And one thing about good Zeus is I don't know how to actually create these groups, but you can go into groups, you can go into empty, and you can select like a military outpost already pre-built. So as you can see, these all are the buildings that are gonna spawn here. So I'm just gonna click it. You know, it's a rusty one, it doesn't matter. So if you don't like it, if you don't like this one, just click delete. If you like, sorry, pasted the same one. So let's say if you like this one, of course, same as all. If you, let's say, deselect it, don't move one by one. Just do that. Select all the objects, and you know you can hold Shift or Alt or whatever, and you can turn it whichever way you want it. You know, so I want it like this way. So I want the entrance to be this way or whatever. So simply put, there's already pre-built outposts. There's there's roadblocks. Some of them. You know, you can take some objects that you want maybe from these or whatever you wish you want to use it for. So guys, this is pretty much it. And to the adding items now, don't rush to exit the game yet. Go out of Zeus. Make sure you like all the placements. You go to your mission generator. Make sure that the thing that you added is kind of good enough to play on or whatever. So I see it's a little bit up in the air, so you can obviously go back in Zeus, which is gonna spawn here because Zeus is just here. What you simply do is you go here and you select this and you just hold Alt and you just move this down. So it's pretty simple to fix things, and it's much more time saving than anything else I've seen so far, and I really prefer this way. So to save all this is really simple. You scroll your button, you go to mission generator, and what you do is go on save and load, and then what you do you say save all to SQM. But make sure you don't copy anything you don't use, because it copies to clipboard, as you can see. So what you do now is close it, close it or whatever. Now you can exit it. Now you can just save and exit. It won't save, it just will save the game logic. Now what you gotta do is you gotta go back to your desktop or whatever. You have to go into your documents, which I'm gonna show you other profiles, and whichever profile you had, you go into your missions, and that's where it will be. That's where it will be. So we don't need this. All we need is this. So we create a new folder. We put Altis live forums rpg.altis. We put that, and then we create a file called mission. It's SQM, yes, SQM. So you create that. You edit it with your chosen notepad. I preferably use Notepad++. You paste this in, all of it. So that's what you have. So that's why I said don't copy anything else. Just paste it, at least in a notepad. Have it somewhere, because of all the work you've done, you might lose it. Now, next step would be is go back to your yes. You need to go back to your Arma free, and now you can completely just exit this. It's not relevant to you anymore. You can create this every time. It doesn't matter. It's not that hard to do. I just showed it slow. So you go into play, you go into multiplayer, you go to new, and you go just select that and wait for it to load. Once you're in here, find the named thing that you like, and of course have your MP into MP missions your version of Altis, which my one is this. But however, now all we need to do is go on this, edit it, simply put, just edit it, and there we go. Now make sure, guys, make sure you only copy this. Like so, even select it even one by holding control. So don't select something that you don't want, like game logic is right there. You cannot see it, but you might select it. So simply put, select that, and just select that. That is safe. That is all good. So I left my rifleman here. So this is what I'm saying. So that's where my Zeus was got left. So I gotta ignore these bits. If these bits get in some way, I mean, I am totally screwed, guys, like, honestly. So I just removed them. I simply just copy it all, make sure that those things are not there, because I left the character there. And I just copy it, simply. Best way maybe is just to move your character out of the map. But anyways, and you just copy it, Control C. You go to your chosen, let's say, I'll choose just anything, guys. It doesn't really matter. So go here, and then you go paste this in and move it around. Make sure you have a spot somewhere that you recognize where it was, maybe, or you know, something like that. So I know that was a little bit more up. And that's it. And you should be able to preview this. Now I can tell you straight away, if you copied anything that you didn't supposed to copy of those things that I showed you, this would crash. If you're not opting out into a mod, I'm telling you this right now. So I know at least at somewhat point it's okay and it shouldn't do much damage. But if it does, make sure you look for game logic or MCC in your mission SKM through Notepad, because that's the only way. So you choose your camera, you know, this is the quick way to move around. So it's the same, you know, you can use whatever. Now what you can do is you can go click on a map, you know, and you can go, let's go to the pier. So I know if it's, make sure that it's placed right or whatever. So of course mine isn't, because you know you might have some adjustment, but see, everything that I put it in the ground, made sure that it's in the ground. Every placement is correct, part that I pulled it a little bit too far. And just let's check the other one. Yep, and yes, it's right here. You know, just make sure before you know paste anything in that you actually have it set up, you know, so it's not lifting like this. You can obviously move it all together or whatever, but there you go. It's all working, and all the buildings should work. Like I said, if you're gonna paste something that you haven't supposed to be pasting into your mission SKM, the server will crash basically. So you just got to be careful with this, and you know, of course, make sure, like I said, maybe leave your character out of the map so you don't accidentally copy anything that you don't want. Because there's 3 like unrecognizable squares and a rifleman that you don't have to have. So make sure, because remember we added some game logic and etc. So okay guys, I think that's it. That rounds up my guide to you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I didn't bore you to death, and you know, I think everybody's gonna love this way of doing the map, because it's actually interactive. You can actually, you know, don't have to preview it in Zeus. You can actually, you know, go to it, check it out, and like running around mode and stuff like that. And also the tricky part is gonna be placing it into the 2D editor and, you know, getting the precision right. But like the actual, you know, elevation of things and stuff like that is gonna be totally fine and totally the same. Just your placement, however you drag and drop it on or paste it in, it will be entirely up to you, but this is a really easy way to do this. So like I said, thanks guys for watching, and you know, have a good day. Forum, goodbye.